Hello everyone. I made my previous video, which was entitled How Will Blacks Outperform Microsoft? And it got me to thinking while I was asking my question, I neglected to ask the the more important question, which is should we even try to outperform Microsoft? And when when you know, as you know, whites globally are their population is going down. They are not producing children the way that they used to, and so once they finally become the global minority, oh, actually, they probably already are the global minority, but even more of a global minority. What will will we actually need another Microsoft if blacks take over United States, take over the country, if blacks take over Europe, will we have that requirement for a worldwide computer software conglomerate, or will we instead choose to make it more local instead of having one guy be the richest man instead of one software developer being the richest man in the world, we might have a different software for the East Coast, different software for the West Coast, Midwest. We might, instead of doing the traditional thing, which is to start small and then go global, we might start global and say we want to go small and we want to localize. And that's something that I should have. I knew that I wanted to talk about that, but I forgot when I was making my last video. So while we're figuring out whether or not, first of all, whether or not we should even try to be the next Microsoft, it would, whether or not it would meet our goals, we also have to factor in our capabilities. How many black software developers do we have worldwide? How many of them would even be willing to work with a black-owned software industry? How many of them would rather work for white people or not work at all? Because these are things that we need to understand. And then obviously there's the the eternal lament of many black people, which is that you can't get black people to work together and they're always at each other's throats and things of that nature. So the the thing that I the thing that I the thing that I would suggest is that we in what we do we want we don't want to necessarily be the biggest people out there or the richest or the having the most monopolies and antitrust lawsuits going everywhere. We don't necessarily want to be that big high profile guy, but we certainly want to be the most effective. And I call it I call it owning with a knife. And how I came up with that term was that if you look at the original videos on my channel, I was big in the FPS, online first person shooters, and there was I was really good at it, and there was actually I was playing Mercenary Wars, which is a, which is now a defunct game, and it was free to play. I don't I'm not sure if it had microtransactions. I don't remember any, but it was free to play, and actually it did have microtransactions. You could buy guns and things like that. But anyway, I got really good at it over years. I'll do another video of how I got good at it, but I got so good that there was this one round. We were, we were playing this one match, and it was in a urban map, and I just said, forget this. I dropped my guns, all my guns, and I went out with a knife. And I did every respawn. I went out with a knife, and I was massacring people. I had the most kills on the server. Yeah, I don't think I had the least deaths because the campers probably had less deaths than I did, but I had the most kills on the server. I was the top guy on the server with a knife. You know what I mean? And that's the type of achievement I never saw in any video game. But it should be there. But that's where I get the term owning with a knife. It's like you take something sharp or something powerful, something dangerous, and you use it in a way that you get kills on other people who are using much more expensive, much more global, much more you I wouldn't call it ubiquitous. No, that wouldn't be the right word. Much more feature packed, exactly. Feature packed uh, things, much more technological, electronic, digital, instantaneous, long range, you know. So you have this small little advantage, which is a knife, and you use it in ways that you use it to its maximum ability and utility, and you have to have a lot of creativity. That's what I'm saying. Be effective with very little. Don't necessarily have the most money. Don't necessarily have the most global presence, but be effective and outperform people who are 10 times your size. And that's how I learned it when I was playing FPS games, and that's the type of mentality I've tried to take with me in life. So if we if we come up with our own software companies, I don't know of any black owned software companies. They might just technically be multicultural software companies, but I've never heard of a black owned version of Microsoft or a black operating system or anything of that nature. So, you know, if we're going to be the if blacks are really going to be in charge, we're going to have to produce our own we're gonna have to program our own computers. We're gonna have to learn how to program our own computers for commerce, for the internet, which is, I guess, also commerce, for the medical field, for the transportation field, so that we can do more with less. We can have more mobility, more power with less money and less resources. As for example, the oil supply eventually is going to run out, and people are looking at you crazy like, no, oil will never run out. And it's just like you're drinking you're drinking soda out of a can. While you're drinking it, it tastes so good and it'll never go away, and you're loving it and you can't stop drinking it. But once that last drop goes away, then your mouth is dry. So resources are going to get scarce once the oil runs out, and we cannot rely on white people to be here forever, because, like I said, their population is dwindling. They're not having kids worldwide, in America and in Europe, and we're gonna have to be owning with a knife. We're gonna have to be taking care of our business, and we're gonna have to build more business and better business, and we're gonna have to outperform people who are billions of dollars richer than us, and we're gonna have to do it faster. So we might not want to make the next Microsoft. We might want to make, uh, East Coast software, West Coast software, you know, down south software, up north software, or maybe just do it by state, or even communities. Just have, like, you know, Hyde Park, Hyde Park software, Humboldt Park software, you know, and maybe that's where we're going. Maybe it's going back to states' rights, state societies, and people vote in their state, and most rights are relegated to the states and things of that nature. So let me know what you think, dude. Should we even try to outperform Microsoft, or should we look to a better solution for everybody? Own with a knife, and see where it goes from there, and provide a solution that actually fits with our situation. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video.